step the right foot out and sink down and forward. And so the right foot's forward. We're in like our regular Tai Chi bow stance, small bow stance, hips tucked under. Let's do a couple of vertical circles. So we sink down the back leg, forward into the front foot, pause there. Feel our connection into the front foot. Don't let this hip sag here. That's filled up, so our body's weight is going straight down the front leg into the front foot. It's not going out the knee. It's not like going forward out into the knee. I need it to come straight down into the foot. So I feel my foot. I feel it going through this hip socket. I set that up however I need to feel it. You don't want to be leaking here. You don't want to be leaking at the knee. Straight to the foot. Again, butt's pushing forward. Front hip is opening. Settle down into the front foot. And let's come into a ward off here with the right hand in ward off, left hand low. Okay, feel the front foot, push into it. Think ankle, calf, knee, thigh, hip. So I should have come back a little bit. It's very subtle, but now my weight should be connecting down the back leg. We can turn the hips, making sure my front knee stays tracking over the front foot. I'm still pressing into that foot, but I'm in the back leg. My weight is sinking down the back leg, and I spend time setting this up. I've opened the hips as much as I can without sacrificing the front knee. I'm not twisting through the torso. I'm just wherever my hips go, I then stack up on that. And let's hold the ball here. So feel the back foot. Make sure, maybe you need to wiggle it around. Is that leg twisted in some weird way, or is it settling straight down the leg into the foot, evenly in the heel and the ball? I can still feel the front foot pushing up and back. I'm still connected through the front foot, but it's like fully extended to get me back. It's my kickstand to keep me over the back leg. And I know I'm kind of in a tightrope position here with the heels. I want to be a little bit wider. So feel the foot in the ground. Maybe I need to wiggle my back leg till I get that solid feeling. Again, front is opening through the hip, tailbone is tucking, or like glute is kind of trying to. Ultimately, you don't want the glutes activated, but often because we're too loose in the back, we need to keep our structure correct. You might need to kind of like keep the glute tight to keep us connected through the front. And then, of course, as you can, try to release, maintain that intention while releasing the muscles. Check your front knee. Did it cave in? So now let's sink down the back leg first, and then push forward into the front foot as we come to ward off. So we're in the front foot. Check that again. So am I leaking through the knee? Is my hip hinged? Get that solid. Should be easier to do it a little faster now. So I'm trying to get my hips to the front. If that pulls my back knee in, that's too far. I can only move my hips as far to the front as I maintain my structure. So if it's not all the way, that's just what it is. I'm in my front foot. I come up and back. Let's do roll back. Turn the hips. Sorry, come back to ward off. Let's do 64 roll back. I push up and back. I go a little bit more to the outside, and then I turn the hip as I come over my back leg. So my hands are kind of almost coming into press position. I'm over the back leg. My front leg is still pressing into the ground. My knee is still over the toes. As I sink into my back leg, I turn my hip straight. So I'm turning the hip straight before I go forward here. And then I push straight forward with the press. Spin a second here. Are you correctly in your front leg? Feel the foot evenly. Feel the knee. Feel the hip. Up and back into what's about to be pushed down on. So when you're back, am I like too far back over my back foot? Or am I still in the front foot and sinking down the back foot? Get that solid. If you need to like twist the back leg around a little, you feel that connection. Make sure the front is opening, back is driving forward a little bit, just because I'm assuming we kind of all have the saggy back, tight front from the sitting. So now on this one, we sink down the back leg as the hands pull in, everything compresses, and then we push into the front foot and push down. Now wait, am I in my front leg? Did I go too far? It's often like a much more subtle movement than you think it is. That's like kind of the thing, after you learn the form, then it's like you have to learn to like dial it back to where it's actually happening with the correct structure and internal processes rather than just moving. Okay, drop the hands, pull back, and step the left foot out. Sink down and forward. Settle into the front foot. Activate through this front hip. Your back knee is still tracking over the toes. If you can't do that, then you could bring the back toes in, the angle in a little bit more. Your body is still sitting directly in the hips. Wherever your hips can be, that's where your torso is. Center of the chest, belly button, always aligned. If you're trying to be like, oh, I'm facing forward, but there's a twist, you're out of alignment. So ask yourself, am I dead in the, like centered in my front foot between the heel and the ball of the foot? Are my leg bones draining the weight right into that center point? Okay, push into it. Ankle, calf, knee, thigh, hip. As you come back over your back leg, remember we're not shifting across, we're shifting straight back. And then we allow our weight to start connecting. We don't sink yet, but allow it to connect to the back foot. So just think hip, thigh, knee, calf, ankle, foot. I feel my foot. I move it around, make sure it's solid. I don't shift over it. I'm still pressing into my front foot. I open my hips toward this inside and I hold the ball. Ask yourself, am I being honest with my center of chest and belly button and my hips? Okay, feel your back foot. Are you evenly on the heel and the ball of the foot? Begin to sink down into it. On this one, as we push forward into the front foot, that's where we turn the hips and the ward off comes out. Settle into the front foot. Push into the front foot. I know we don't do this side on 64, but come to the outside and across as you come over the back leg, turning the hips open, making sure your front knee doesn't cave. Now on the press, we turn the hips as we sink down the back leg. So we sink down the back leg first, press the hands together. And then this is the release of press as we come forward into the front foot. Settle into the front foot. Ask yourself, are you upright? Are you in that foot? Did I let my back knee sag? Okay, push into the front foot, open the arms. Pause when you get over the back foot. Feel the back leg. Let your weight drain down. If you're back on the heel or feeling off balance, it means you aren't in the foot. So get on the foot, let your weight settle, maintaining some in the front foot. Push, but it's just like a kickstand, pushing you up and back, and then you settle down the back leg. And then we drop down the back leg, pull the hands in, and push forward or push down. They say your arm should be at the same angle as your back leg on the push down here. So it's not like out, it's, and then sink into the front foot, make sure you got that.